Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the main card fights for UFC 228, or you could say the top 6 fights. They haven't really outlined what is the main card, what is the prelim, what is the fight past prelim. So I think the top 6 fights will be the main card. So I'll predict the top 6 fights, which what I will call the main card. So without further ado, let's get to the first fight on the main card. So in our first fight on the main card, we have in the women's strawweight division, Carla Esparza versus Tatiana Suarez. Two top-level wrestlers who were on the world stage. And Tatiana Suarez was a much more talented wrestler, much more accomplished, had much more hopes before her injury occurred. I think the much bigger fighter. Carla Esparza already has been the strawweight champion, the first UFC strawweight champion, women's strawweight champion. So it's a very interesting matchup right here. But I think Tatiana Suarez is going to be all on Tatiana Suarez's side. Carla Esparza striking not necessarily the best, but she has a good understanding of what's called range and angles. So she's a very short fighter, even for the strawweight division. Doesn't have the longest arms or the best frame for striking, but she can strike with some of the best of them because she understands range and angles. So she can land strikes from different angles, and she knows where she's at and where she can set up takedowns from. So she's able to stand with a lot of people. Tatiana Suarez striking really hasn't seen too much of it, but she can improve on that. She could be a dangerous opponent. I think she's definitely somebody that can be a future champion in this division very soon. But her striking has had to come along a bit, but she hasn't really needed to use it any bit because her wrestling is so dominant and she's grappling so dominant. So I think in this fight, it's like be wrestling back and forth. But I think Tatiana Suarez is just too big, too talented, and too technical on the ground. I think she's going to be able to smother Carla Esparza, out-wrestle her, out-grapple her, land some ground and pound, and just wear her out a bit. I think it's going to be a late stoppage via submission. I think it's going to be third round after a kind of a gritty kind of fight, both wrestling, both putting it all in there. But I think Tatiana Suarez will just be the better wrestler. I think striking is going to come into play, but not enough that's going to be able to sway to Carla Esparza's way. Even her foot movement is not going to be enough. I think Suarez just has the grit, and she just could be in your face the whole time. She's not going to be slow and just be trying to play cat and mouse. She's going to be right up in her face the whole time. If Carla Esparza does try to go that way, I think the rest is going to go back and forth a little bit, but Suarez is going to be heavily in Suarez's favor. I think she's going to be just too much for Esparza. I see a third round submission. So in this fight, I have Tatiana Suarez via third round submission. Then on to our next fight, we have in the bantamweight division, Aljamain Sterling versus Cody Stamann. So Cody Stamann, his first fight in the UFC was pretty dominant. Then his other two fights were like, he just showed his true character. I'm not saying it's like a bad thing, I'm saying it's a good thing actually. His striking might not be the best. He might not be the best wrestler. He might not be the most jump off the wall, fascinating fighter. But what he does have is a huge gas tank, cardio, grit, that wrestler grit, and a good chin. One fight he was against Duquesne Wild. He was getting caught by head kicks, knees, and punches all through the first round, looking like Duquesne Wild was going to be able to do that the whole fight. But then Duquesne Wild started to slow down, started gas, but Cody Stamann kept the same pace the whole fight and started grappling him and taking him down easier in his face the whole time. And that's how he won. It was a split decision, but he won. Then he fought Brian Caraway. Brian Caraway started out grappling him and doing all he wanted on the ground and had all these good setups and was looking like he was on a different level. But then Caraway started to slow down. Cody Stamann kept the same pace, started to land on Caraway, started to take Caraway down, and he won like a decision or split decision. But so same story right here. But now we got Aljamain Sterling, very talented fighter. I think he's the better grappler in the matchup, wrestling about even. He's the better striker in the matchup, but he has to look at Cody Stamann's fight. He can't just say, oh, he's just a tough guy and I got to keep the same pace, but that's what he kind of has to think about in his fight. He has to expect the best Cody Stamann, maybe Cody Stamann even better than before, but one thing for sure, he does have to see, like I said, he has to make sure he can keep the same pace the whole fight, because you can't just get excited that you dominate Cody Stamann in the first round or that you're winning one round and a half, because then he'll always be at the same pace and he'll be able to take that fight from you when you start to fade. I think Aljamain Sterling actually faded against Brian Caraway when they fought, so it's kind of like a redemption fight almost. So Aljamain Sterling has to keep the same pace the whole fight, or at least maintain a decent pace, and I think he should win this fight. I think it's going to be a close fight, but I think Aljamain Sterling is going to come from a good enough gym. He's seen enough tape now, and he already has experience with the last person Cody Stamann has beat, and he lost to that guy by the same way that Stamann basically beat Brian Caraway. So he has experience in this type of environment. I think he's going to make those adjustments. He's going to keep his range on the feet, mix it up with grappling, striking, but he's not going to try to rush for the finish too much or hold dominant positions and just burn himself out. He's going to be smarter, I say. Use some veteran savvy, and I think that's going to be enough. I think Aljamain Sterling going to win this fight via decision. It's going to be another gritty fight, but Aljamain Sterling is going to edge this one on decision. So in this fight, again, Aljamain Sterling via decision. Then on to our next fight we have in the featherweight division, Yair Rodriguez versus Zabit Magomedsharipov. So I can't really say that name, but y'all know who that is. He's a nice prospect coming out. Very good wrestling, good sambo. What's called free striking. I say Yair Rodriguez striking still much more free than Zabit's, but Zabit's kind of try to have that Yair kind of feel on the feet a little bit. And then he has the grappling difference. So you could kind of say that Zabit is a better Yair because he's more well-rounded. And Yair's wrestling style came into play, but I don't think Zabit wrestling is necessarily as good as Frank Edgar's. He might be able to beat Frank Edgar in a wrestling match, but Frank Edgar has that good control with his wrestling, and he also has that ground and pound and those better setups. So I think that could play all out. He definitely won't be able to beat Yair in a way that Frank Edgar beat. He won't be able to beat him that way. I think his best way is he's trying to think he could beat him in a striking and wrestle him and do stuff like that and maybe submit him or something, but I don't think that's going to happen either. I think Yair Rodriguez is actually the better striker. I think Zabit just kind of got people that he could look good against, whereas Yair Rodriguez has fought in much better competition on striking, matter of fact, all around than Zabit. But it's going to be a tough fight, tough, gritty fight. I think Zabit's not going to be able to hold Yair down the whole fight, or as long as he thinks he can. I think he'll be able to get some takedowns, but I think Yair will get right back to his feet. I think submission skills right around even. Zabit's going to be a little bit more dominant grappler than Yair would be. But I think Yair is actually going to keep this on the feet enough time. I think he's going to be able to outstrike Zabit on the feet and keep the grappling to a minimum, not give up too many takedowns, and just be the faster, more technical striker and win the fight via decision. I don't think he's going to be able to stop Zabit, but I think he's going to be able to shut down and neutralize a lot of what Zabit does. So in this fight, I have Yair Rodriguez via decision. Then on to our next fight we have in the women's strawweight division, Jessica Andrade versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. So I don't know, it seems like Jessica Andrade should have got a title shot already since there's really no true contender and she's already looking dominant. I think she's a good or bad style matchup for Rose Namajunas. Seems like she should have got the title shot, but I guess she's fighting again. So as far as this fight goes, Karolina, not the most power, but she could push a high pace, good cardio, good gritty fighter, tough, and all that stuff. That's the telltale on her fast hands, decent striking, not a lot of power, but a lot of volume, and decent enough grappling defense. Now versus Jessica Andrade, I mean, she's not the most technically the striker, but she can certainly get into your face. She's like a female, what's his name? Yeah, she's a female John Lineker. That's what I was thinking about. She's a female John Lineker. She could go to your body, go to your head, be in your face the whole time. Got a good chin, good grappling, strong as she ever wants to be. Strong as like a female heavyweight to be flipping women around and just tossing them. So she's very strong. Gritty, good chin. Forward pressure forever. She just walk you down the whole fight, throwing body shots, head shots, throwing you around, doing whatever she has to do to win. So Jessica Andrade already beat somebody that beat Gedalia, who dominated Karolina. I think that it's going to be kind of similar to a lot of Jessica Andrade's fights. She's fighting a faster fighter who's going to have all that movement early. But I think Jessica Andrade is going to be wearing out to the body too much, wearing out to the head too much, taking her strikes and just washing her down. Eventually, Karolina is going to kind of start to wilt, and they'll give up those takedowns or present those takedowns are going to become more present. And Jessica Andrade is going to take advantage of them, pick her up, toss her, dump her, be beating her up the whole fight, wearing her down wherever she needs to wear her down. I don't think it's going to be a stoppage, but because Karolina is so tough and it's going to be hard to get her to those positions. So by the time Jessica Andrade gets her there, she's not going to be able to have too much time to work with. So in this fight, I'm just going to think Jessica Andrade via a decision. So in this fight, Jessica Andrade via decision. Then on to our next fight we have in our co-main event in the women's flyweight division, Nico Montano versus Valentina Shevchenko. So this is a flyweight title shot, flyweight championship match, women's flyweight championship match. Nico Montano won the Ultimate Fighter to win the inaugural belt. Not just fighting Valentina Shevchenko, who's one of the best women in MMA pound for pound. So let's see what Nico Montano is up about. So she's not really spectacular anywhere, but what she does have is heart and grit. She might not be the most technical, or even on the show she wasn't like the favorite to win or nothing like that. But she showed heart and grit. She's tough, and she won the house. She won the inaugural belt for the women's flyweight division. And that's about all. She has decent grappling, nothing spectacular, striking, nothing spectacular. What she is she has a lot of heart, a lot of pace, and a lot of grit. Like no power, no great submissions, no great wrestling. That's about the tape on her. Now we got Valentina Shevchenko. She's challenged for the 135-pound division title against against Amanda Nunes, and it really was a close fight coming down to the 5th round in which she lost. So she was that close to beating pretty much what I would say the number 2 pound for pound best woman in the MMA right now, and she just came up short. So like Valentina's a very good striker, phenomenal striker. Her grappling's coming along pretty well, very well. She's gritty, good just about everywhere. I say her grappling's about maybe her only weak area. Well, I don't even call it weak. It's just not as good as her striking, but it's coming along. So Valentina, I think, is on a different level from Nico Montano. I go into this more and more, but really what everybody knows is that Valentina is on a different level than Nico Montano, unless Nico Montano been preparing some secret weapon on the sidelines this whole time. But as far as she goes, Valentina just on a different level. I think striking is going to be too much for her. She's going to be hurting. I think she'll be able to out-grapple her. I just see this as like a 3rd round ticket. I think Nico Montano's really going to be in the fight due to her grit and her heart. She's going to be in there trying to weather the storm and try to find something to work with and find an opportunity. But Valentina's not really going to give her the opportunity. She's going to be too quick, be too precise, too crisp for Montano to try to land any counters. Grappling's going to get shut down if she tries to do that, and she's going to get out-grappled, ground and pound, and beat up. I just see Valentina winning this fight via 3rd round TKO. I think Montano's going to be tough, but can't be tough enough. She's going to get broken down eventually, and the ref's going to have to stop the fight. And her heart going to want to be more, but the ref is going to say it's too much. Her corner man going to say it's too much, and this fight is going to be stopped. So in this fight, I have Valentina Shevchenko via 3rd round TKO. Now to our main event, we have in the welterweight division, Tyron Woodley versus Darren Till. Another title fight. Darren Till got it after a split decision win over Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in a fight which Darren Till came overweight. So this is a kind of really a toss-up fight, and it's even a toss-up kind of guess to see if, toss-up bet to see if Darren Till will even make weight, because he didn't make weight in his last fight, and he didn't even have to make 170. All he had to do was make 171. He couldn't make that. So if he couldn't make 171, now he's going to be thrust into a title fight where he has to make 170. He can't be 170.5. Has to be 170 or less. It's really going to be hard to see if he even makes the weight. Now, Tyron Woodley on his side, I think he's been inactive for a bit. Been talking about winning super fights, and I don't know if he's really been injured or really just been trying to get big fights, which he hasn't been able to get. And this could be a big fight for him. Darren Till has a good European fan base, which is generating and getting bigger. So it could be a big fight for him. I think it's going to be the fight, as big as fights he wanted, but certainly could be a big fight, especially if he could put on a good performance. Then that might get him a big shot. And also, another interesting note is Tyron Woodley had 2 boring fights back-to-back, or 3 boring fights back-to-back. And people have been talking about that. And this is a style matchup that supposedly make an interesting matchup or a sided matchup. So how would Tyron Woodley fight now that he said he's getting somebody that's kind of what will make him have an interesting fight? Will it be an interesting fight? Will he get caught? What will happen? Now, like I said, toss-up fight. Darren Till, good striker. Grappling, not the best. Overall competition hasn't been the best. He has some good wins kind of now. Like in the most recent wins, he had 2 good wins. But outside of that, no real great wins. Tyron Woodley has been the champion for a good minute. A lot of good wins. Darren Till, like I said, go back to Darren Till again. Grappling, not the best. But we haven't really seen him fight a good grappler in a while. So how will he do against Tyron Woodley's grappling? Striking, I would give Darren Till the advantage, but how much of an advantage? So it's kind of tossed. But grappling advantage, I'll definitely give Tyron Woodley. That's clear, but can Tyron Woodley keep that same pace? You look back at his Strikeforce days, he was a very good wrestler. All he would do was wrestle people. He'd be on you, wrestling you the whole fight, laying on you the whole fight, and he could do that all the time. But then as soon as he came to UFC, his wrestling cardio faded. It's Kobe Covington mentioned, he doesn't have the heart for, or the cardio, or whatever, the cardio heart, or the wrestler grit that he once had to wrestle for 5 rounds. Because if he could do that, he would have beat Stephen Thompson much easier, but he doesn't have the cardio for it no more. So that could be a factor in this fight, whether if Woodley starts to get tired after taking him down if needed, and that when he starts getting labored and start leaning over, I can see Darren Till easily knocking him out if he gets that tired. Because he'll be labored, his strikes be coming slow, and Darren Till is very good at countering. He has the power to knock anybody out. So that could be a way to play out. Or it could play out like a Tyron Woodley fight. He'll fight very cautious, very paced, and be very boring. Find a way to make this fight boring too, kind of loading up on shots. Punches and stuff, so that Darren Till kind of had to worry about that a little bit. Then kind of shooting for shots, holding Darren Till down when needed, and still make the fight boring. And I think that's how it's kind of going to play out. Darren Till has hopes to make this fight a sighting and finish Woodley. But I think Woodley, despite all the stuff he said, is going to find a way to make this fight boring. He's going to find a way to win. He's going to keep the striking low, make it Woodley's going to find a way to make this fight boring. He's going to keep the strike output low. He gonna load up on power shots that Darren Till has to respect that a little bit because he knows how explosive Tyron Woodley is. He gonna use his wrestling when needed to kind of edge the decision. It's been another one of these close, kind of ugly fights where typical Tyron Woodley fashion relay. He's not gonna try to come too aggressive because he's gonna be respecting of Darren Till's counter, and Darren Till's gonna be respectful of Woodley's power. Gonna be kind of like, you know, the kind of Nagano versus Lewis type of feel a little bit. It's definitely not gonna be that bad, but it's gonna be that type of feel where it's two people are so respecting each other's power and their striking and their speed and explosiveness. That's gonna be they're gonna kind of stalemate, like what's gonna be like a stalemate a lot of times. It's gonna just have to rely on other things happening for the fight to play out. Then Tyron Woodley's gonna use that opportunity to set up takedowns. I think he's not gonna be dominant on the ground as he needs to make it like clear that he's winning the fight, but it's gonna be enough that he could edge the fight and edge the decision. So in this fight, I think I'm gonna go with Tyron Woodley via decision. So in this fight, I have Tyron Woodley via decision. So that concludes my fight predictions for UFC 228, Woodley versus Till. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.